Hello, today I am going to be showcasing a storage that I have made. It is here behind me, and it is quite the beast. It's a very large storage, made mostly for people with large quantities of like bulk items, where you wouldn't be able to fit all of your bulk items in just one bulk haul. And the idea of the storage is that instead of having a separate bulk haul, the bulk haul is integrated in with the chest haul. So you have bulk items on the bottom and you have chest haul items on the top. Okay, so there's a few things about the storage I just want to mention real quick. A lot of the kind of inspiration for the storage was taken from Cycross MS, as well as my friend Brandon, who helped me a lot with the slice. He basically sparked the interest in the slice in my brain because of something that one of his friends had made, and he ended up trying to improve on it with his friends, and it just became this. And in the end, I ended up basically rebuilding the entire bulk section and box order and whatnot to fit my needs. Obviously, this storage will not be perfect for everyone. This is definitely not, a video going, oh, this is the best storage, go make. But it is definitely one of the more involved builds that I've done. Just disclaimers here, there's some color coding for the wiring that's in here, so you can see some of the colors that are all around. They all mean some different things. Over here, there's a bunch of credits. I'll go over these a little bit later when I start going deeper into the peripherals and everything else. Okay, so right at the bat, when you come in here, to the left, or sorry, right, you have your peripheral haul, and then to the left, sorry, you have your unsorted overflow and empty box chests, and you have a control or maintenance panel, whatever you want to call it. And this basically lets you know or tells you everything that's happening in the storage at any given time, basically in real time. And then there's a bunch of switches and levers here for pausing, resetting, and dealing with some of the hopper locking. Okay, if you come a little further, there's another portal, which is where you'd have a link to your nether hub or just whatever. Right next to that, you have your input, which is designed by me. There is an unstackable sorter right here, and if you go a little bit further, there is your entirety of your 3 halls. If you go here to the left, we have kind of a manual storage for like project materials and whatnot, whatever's going on around the server, or single player, whatever, can be found here. Here is a restack station. This one's pretty nice. It's default extended, which is kind of the theme for displays. I went around the storage in the slice. Here we have a default extended bufferless powder snow display, which is really nice, and I'll go over that when I get into the slice a little bit more. But it's a very similar concept here, so I can kind of show that if I take a box here with some items in it, put it in the top. And there's a button here. You see it doesn't place it right away. You have to press this button, and it will place the box. If you get another box and you empty this one, it'll break it and place the next box. And if you break that, it'll break that. And the boxes get collected and sent over. The only thing about this to keep in mind is that the last box doesn't get collected. Okay, over here there is Floppy's 50 furnace array. This one has charcoal distribution, with shulker loaders, or unloaders, sorry. Across here there's some manual crafters. So there's this very manual crafter where you just place in the items you want to craft in here and throw them out or take them in your inventory, craft, and then put them in the box. Here there's a box eating station, so basically, I'll just show this real quick. You can put in a few boxes, and when you turn it on, you get all the items there. Craft, load it into Shulker Box, very similar concept. There's just a manual storage here for like crafting materials and whatnot. Over here, there is a different version of that eating station that is variable time, so you can change how fast it eats boxes. So, for example, if I change it to 200 game ticks and throw in a few boxes here, turn on. I probably should have selected the confirm speed button, but that's fine.
Yes, it's right already. It'll be right there. You can let it be.
And when you do this, you have to press this button. I forgot to do that, and it kind of messed up the timing, but you get the point. And then craft items, load them into a box, put them here, done. It's very simple. This is an 18 Game Chain Crafter by Nurs. This one is really nice. You put your crafting recipe in here, in full shulker boxes, obviously. You again change your speed to what you want. You turn it on. You stand here and you craft your items with the crafting table. And then once you're done crafting, come stand here, load them into a box, and then those boxes will either send to these chests here, or you can flip this switch and those boxes that you craft will be sent directly to the storage halls, which could be useful if you're crafting a very large amount of items that you want to not transport, I guess. Okay, over here at the input, you can see the storage is active light. That is because I had turned on the crafter for a brief moment, so it is showing me that the crafter is active. There are 3 inputs here. So one of them is for bulk input. So these are basically boxes that you would have completely filled with an item type that you want to send directly to the bulk slices. So if you come back from a farm or you're just transporting materials of like concrete, whatever, coming back from a dig and you're emptying a dig sort, this is where you would put those full boxes of one item type. Your main input is basically everything else, so you can put unstackables, 16 stackables, 64 stackables, shulker boxes, unstackables, whatever. You can put it all into this chest and it will deal with it. However, it is not recommended to put just straight items in here, like unstackables, 16 stackables, and 64 stackables, because it slows down the storage a lot, as it has to go through those first before it can reach anything else in this chest. So typically you would load those loose items into this box. When this box is completely full or just full enough, break that box and it will be sent here, where you can then flip the switch and it will send any items that are in these 2 chests to their dedicated sorting operation methods, whatever. Main input, if you put in unstackables get sorted out and sent to the unstackable sorter, and the rest go to a box loader that is right down here. It's a mix loader that then fills up the box, breaks it, and continues, whatever, and that box will be sent to the unloading array. The unloading array has a buffer, so basically you can input a shit ton of items into this, and once you're completely ready to start the storage, you can press this button and it will release whatever is already in the storage and send it to the unloading array. Or if you want to just only run the storage selectively, so say you're in a storage with a bunch of people and you only want to sort like overnight or when no one's online. Some systems, when you just put items in, it sends them directly to the unloading array and starts it, and that will basically cause the whole storage to start running maybe when you don't want it to, which is why I like the buffer system to kind of negate that. There's this input is active. That means that there's items currently flowing through this chest down or this chest down. Items in buffer just means that there's items in the buffer, and buffer release, obviously. Just went over that. So, yeah. Okay, now onto the slice. So the slice has a few interactions you can have with it. Obviously, there's the main picking your items up and whatever. You're also able to, if you have, if you want to manually sort some items to these bulk slices, you can come here, place it in, and display smart, and it places that box right down. Over here, there's an unlock all slices in bulk. So compared to some storages and some bulk slices and an older slice of this storage, when this chest gets completely empty, so say you had it completely filled with redstone ore or whatever, and all these chests up here were filled with that item, once this chest is emptied, you cannot access it again until, say, another box of redstone would be sent to that slice or of that item. So this will basically just unlock every slice of the bulk haul. You can see a little bit of lag, and then, so we can check, and we can see that all these hoppers are unlocked now. So any items that are in here will be flowing through down into the bottom chest. And over here, there is a lock all slices, so you can press that, and everything gets completely locked. and that's obviously to save on lag. These halls are 53 blocks long. There's a lot of room for expansion in most of the halls, so this one here has a lot of room. The one across from it also has a lot of room to add stuff. This hall is a little full, but there is still some spots to add certain items, especially at the end here. This is definitely the most packed hall. A lot of items. This storage uses no multi-item sorter, so there's no multi-item sorter. That's the reason I wanted the bigger halls, was to not have to deal with multi-item sorters altogether. Okay, the other interactions you can have with the hall is not actually in the UI. You have to fly up here, and there are 3 little red dots. So this is specifically for hopper locking throughout the chest halls. So the chest halls are just these chests here. So these are all bulk items, and then up here these are all just loose chest items. So if you want to say similar to the restock that we had down here, when this chest, if you have this chest filled and this barrel filled, then once this chest is emptied and the slice isn't active, it will not allow you to actually get those items. So what you can do is you can come up here and you can, there's 2 levers. So one lever keeps this hall completely locked. So say, regardless of if items are flowing through the system, you don't want any items to get sorted to anything. I don't know why you'd want that, but in case of some weird, I don't know, you might need it, and that will basically just make sure that even if there's items flowing through, it stays locked. This will do the opposite, and even if there are no items flowing through, it will keep the entire slice unlocked, so you can see the hall turns active, and you can hear some sounds, and all of the hoppers that are in here are now unlocked, so it allows any items that are in the upper chests that you can't see, they can come down. And you can just turn that off, and it turns the slice directly off. Okay. Over here, Unstackable Sorter. This one's pretty straightforward. It's really simple. It's not too complicated, I don't think. So here you have your, like, what type of items would be here? You'd have swords, things like shields, totems, bows, anything that isn't one of these items. Here we can sort minecarts, armor, boats, water, lava, powder, snow, shears, flint and steel, potions, / like splash potions, music discs, and books. And this Unstackable Sorter is by 7.7, and this is what's called a hybrid loader. So basically, if one unstackable comes through the system, it will get sent to this chest, and then once this chest is completely filled up, it will start loading the water buckets into this shulker box here. Once that shulker box is completely full, it will place it down in this chest, and both of these chests are for shulker boxes of that unstackable. Same here. It's not a hybrid, so all the mixed items are just sent to the shulker box loader, and that shulker box loader is all that. Okay, over here at our Overflow and Sorter and Empty Boxes, we have a button here that allows us to call boxes that are in the unsorted loader. So the unsorted loader is over here in the right-hand corner here. This basically, if you have a chest slice here that is completely overflowing with items, so all these barrels, all these chests, all these hoppers are completely filled, and there's no way any items can get through, they'll just skip right over that hopper, and they'll get sent down to here. And this is a 6x mix loader, and all those items will get sent to one shulker box. And once that shulker box is full, it breaks it and sends it to the overflow. However, if some of these items, say it's like half full, and it obviously is stuck down there and you can't access it, that's what this note block will do. And if I go in free cam here and press that button, we can see that it will break the box and spit it out, and it gets sent right to here. Empty boxes is just all the boxes that the unloader has dealt with, and overflow is for the bulk slices. So if all of your chests are filled with shulker boxes of that item, then they will just be sent out here into Overflow. And here we can see that shulker box over there. Let's come here. There's also a few shulker boxes in here from just the testing that I was showing. And you can see the storage is on because the crafter's running, because I forgot to turn off one of the crafters. Yep. I was confused why I wasn't shutting off for a minute. Okay, over here are levers and over activity status. So here you have the main the green is activity status. So unloader active, input active, chest hall 1, 2, 3, unstackable sorter, furnace array, and crafters. Those are all activity statuses, so you know what's happening. The blue is for pausing, so all this blue and all these blue signs are for pausing the storage. So if you need to shut down your server or save and quit your single player world, you can do that pretty easily. If the unloader is running, that's one of the main things that'll break if you unload it, so you can pause it. And there's also one for the input, so you can pause the input from sending items to the unloader, or buffer rather. There's also some kind of fix things, so if after, say, your server crashes or you accidentally save and quit, your unloader will become, for the lack of better terms, fucked. So that's what this button will do, and this button basically just resets all the toggle states that are in the storage. So you see if I press the button, all these pistons will activate, and that will also break all the boxes that are currently being unloaded, and that will also unmap every item from the set and whatnot. Cut off unloader from new boxes, that's pretty self-explanatory. Very similar to the input pause. When you press that, it will stop any items that are coming in from the input to the buffer. Timer reset, this is basically if your storage is running and you know that everything is set off and you just want to log off the server as quickly as possible, because ideally this would be hooked to chunk loading, you can press this button and it will basically just turn off the timer. The red here is the same exact thing as these two buttons, except it will do it for all the slices at once. So if I press this, it will unlock every bulk slice in the storage, and this one will unlock them. Okay, and the pink is for issues. So this is what you want to look for if the storage is broken or if something's wrong. You can see the unstackable sorter is out of arrows. That means for the unstackable sorter, because the way it checks if an item is armor or not, it needs to place it on an armor stand, and to break the armor stand, it needs to use up arrows. So here we can see arrows, and there's a shulker box unloader with full boxes of arrows right here. Also, furnace array out of fuel. That's not so much linked to the storage, but you get what I mean. Basically, if one of these chests gets completely emptied, it will let you know. And the very important thing is shulker boxes are critically low. So that means that for each area that uses shulker boxes, so the unstackable sorter, the input, the overflow loader, and all the bulk slice loaders could be emptied. Okay. So, okay, that's going to get really annoying really quickly, isn't it? Okay. Where was I? Right, so shulker boxes are stored mostly down here. So there's a bunch of lights down here, so if that main light turns on, saying that your shulker boxes are low, you want to come down here and you want to identify where the shulker boxes are low. This storage does not have shulker box distribution, unfortunately. I'm sure there's a way to add it. It wasn't necessary for my needs because I play with stackable shulker boxes. And in a single chest, you can store a shit ton of shulker boxes, and the likelihood of you gnawing through all of these within a realistic amount of time is pretty low. You can also add more chests to this if you're scared you'll run out, which I doubt you will, but you know. So if one of these becomes empty, the light will turn on down here. For the unstackable sorter, there's a light here for shulker boxes. Same for the input, and the where is it? Right here for the overflow loader. And they're all easily accessible. So right here's your empty box for that. Here's your input empty boxes. your unstackable sorter empty boxes are right here. And I already showed the loader empty boxes, which are down here. Okay. Another thing to point out is, I don't think I mentioned this, is that for the bulk items, they're loaded into these precision loaders that are right down here. These are Leos. So basically each sorter is linked, so this is stone, and up here this is the stone slice. So all your stone items will get sorted into the Shulker Box loader, and once it's full it breaks it and sends it down a water stream. And it will get sent and sorted to that slice using a box sorter by NERS. This one is really nice. I like it because, I don't know, it's just kind of clunky and it fit better into the system. And you can see that here. So basically it takes the first item out of a Shulker box and compares it to all these different filters up here that correspond to the slices below. And if it finds that, okay, this is a matched item, it'll place that box down here, recombine that item with the box, and send the box down into the slice, as well as unlocking the slice. Okay, I guess I'll go over credits now. So there's a lot of credits. Mass Crafter over there. It's by NERS. The restock station is by Camperwood. Really nice job on that. Most of the crafters, so this one, and this one were by Command Leo, as well as the loaders that I mentioned down for the bulk slices were all made by Command Leo. Floppy's Furnace Array, so that's this one. This was made by Floppy. And the unloading array, which is one of my favorite components of the storage actually, because of just how nice it is made by Kazem. And it's really nice because it improves on Glotz's version from a while ago that most people are just copy and pasting and using in their storage. And it just modernizes it a little bit, to be honest. And the rest of the storage was made by me, obviously, as well as Brandon, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. He helped a lot with kind of the idea and, to be honest, just everything. As well as, that's for the slice. So this display was made by Hampter. I know a bunch of other people, Keshikan, just a lot of people worked on the display. And the box sorter is by NERS again. Okay, so now what I want to talk about is really quickly that this is not ideal in any way. If you've ever seen Sidecraft's main storage, which I mentioned earlier that I kind of took inspiration from, you'll know that they have a very similar setup where they have two chests and an encoded bulk slice. So basically they have a remote bulk that's unloaded further away so that the client doesn't have to load all of these chests. These chests can be a problem for people that don't have that great of a computer, as well as the hoppers. The hoppers are processed if you're in a single player on your computer, and the hoppers cause a lot of lag. So there's a lot of hoppers in the system. In the total storage, there's probably around 14,000 hoppers, and there's enough chests to match that number. So it's important to keep in mind when looking or even just testing the storage to make sure that you have enhanced block entities, which basically just allows you to have enhanced chests, which makes it so that it's not so taxing on the client to render all the chests. And it's also important to have lithium installed because lithium improves on the hopper lag and basically makes it glitchable. There is still lag that comes from this passively, even when it's locked, but it's much better than vanilla, and that's really important in a system like this. And I get that obviously this is not ideal for everyone because not everyone is going to have a Shulker box of Jesus Christ. End crystals. I almost forgot what those are called. I'm sorry. Or even frog lights, or amethyst. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fart. Or even some of the ores, you might not have a shulker box of those, and that's fine. That just, I mean, if you need to, literally, you can just unassign the filters. So, say I don't want to sort amethyst shards here, break it, come down here to the loader, take that out, replace it with a filter item. I will not be doing that actually. And then go to the box sorter, which is up here, and remove the amethyst shard from here and replace it with an unstackable or a shulker box, whatever. Okay, and obviously this is a very laggy storage. Idle, it causes about 0.77 ms of lag, and that's not bad at all, like at all. While it's running, it can go up to about 4 or 5 just because of all the item entities and unlocked hoppers and everything. But as long as, I mean, I have a pretty mediocre computer. It's nothing new. It's quite old, probably around 4 or 5 years old now, and not the highest graphics card at the time, and I could still run here around 70 FPS, and that's in this basalt delta biome, which in itself causes some lag. But where you'd have this either in a perimeter or just wherever, it probably won't be that bad as long as you kind of have the right performance mods installed and whatnot. I'm not saying that performance mods solve the problem and that the storage is perfect. Because of that, the storage is not perfect, and there are some things about it that obviously won't be ideal for everyone, especially the bulk, because I know some people have issues with, well, I don't have a shulker box of composters or flight duration rockets, and that's just where it comes in, that I built the storage for me and how I would use it, and not exactly for everyone else. I thought I would share it on YouTube to just get some interest and pull, so hopefully people can respect that, because I know this is not perfect for everyone. And yeah, obviously there's illegal blocks that are in here. That's just because I like playing with illegals, because they're, in my opinion, they make the game a little bit more fun. So there are portals around here, and obviously you can just remove those if you don't plan to play with that. Okay. There is no chunk loading to the storage. I did kind of mention that, but I may end up in the future releasing a version with it, or just a chunk loading grid to go along with the storage. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, one more thing. Let's talk about the hopper locking. The whole storage together is 98% hopper locked. So I think there's only like maybe 100 or 200 hoppers that are unlocked, and that's basically just these hoppers in the overflow, and I know there's some in the input, as well as back here there's some hoppers that are unlocked. But yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope if you did enjoy this video, you go check out the schematics in the description and the world download, and you guys will be able to check out the storage for yourself. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.